allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Speak louder.
Speak louder.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Becky and Barb are the ones that said
I
you need
know.
to speak louder.
I second
We're
that.
gonna go around
You can go around the room for your public comment, yes?
Okay.
So Brian, DWC.
Brian, do you have anything to say before the meeting starts? It's going.
Is it my
You wanna do your
presentation
part?
now?
You
Yes,
can.
please. I'm here to present the bid recommendation for the stormwater bids that were received
Okay.
on August 31st. So first thing I'm handing out is a letter that contains a summary of the bids received in my recommendation. And then the second thing I hand out is the actual bid tabulation, which includes a breakdown of each contractor's unit price and my engineer's estimate.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you got to do this.
Need one more? Oh, I got plenty.
Oh, good.
Okay. There you go. So ultimately, we got 5 bids, which is good because that means it's competitive.
Right.
Each bidder was responsive. They all had complete bids. Actually, that's not totally true. Column was missing a couple of items, but they were considerably higher than the rest of the bidders. Reading through the bids, my engineer's estimate was $629,505, and that's similar to the number that we had used in planning the project. So that's good that you guys were still at that same budget or thereabouts with the engineer's estimate. B&T Drainage Incorporated was the apparent low bidder at $607,085. Column Excavating bid $997,372. Connexco Incorporated bid $729,336. DeShield Contracting bid $744,454.01. And Plant Brothers Excavating and Construction bid $817,700.91. So comparing the engineer's estimate to B&T Drainage, the low bidder, you do have some small contingency between the plan amount and the actual project bid amount. So that's only, $20,000. That's not much compared to the overall cost of the project. So we just need to continue to watch the contractor as they're out there for any unexpected items that may occur. So with that, then the B&T being below your budgetary amount of $629,000, I would recommend that they are a fine contractor and they can definitely do this work, and they have plenty of experience in your specific area. So with that, I would recommend that you award the bid to B&T Drainage. Now, ordinarily I would have a notice of award and I would ask you to sign that. However, you don't have your funding acquired from the federal and state revolving fund. So until you have that funding actually acquired, I am not going to recommend that you sign any actual contract documents with B&T Drainage. What you'll do tonight is approve me to move forward with pre-construction items, and that will allow me to let B&T Drainage know that you do plan to award the contract to them. It's just your funding hasn't yet come in. So then once your funding comes in, we'll execute the contract documents. So with that, I would ask for your approval to move forward with B&T Drainage as the low bidder on the Rosedale Stormwater Project.
So you just need to make a motion
Okay.
that everyone agrees.
Everyone agrees, we make a motion to go forward with B&T till our funding
Yes.
comes in. Let them know that that's who we're going to get. Everybody,
Who's
Yes.
your motion?
Who's,
That's your motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
okay.
Barb's a motion.
Barb's motion.
First, Ken second. Jumping right back in there. Yeah. And all in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor?
Zach.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Yay.
Well, thank you very much. Just for another update on the project, we did have some utility coordination going on during the bidding process with the gas company and with the power poles. The gas company did confirm last week that we're clear of their main, so we have far enough separation from their main. The contractor will still work with them on any service lines that they may need to cross. And then the power pole, the B&T Drainage actually thinks that they can support those poles if they should excavate close enough to have to support them. So they're not worried about having to relocate those poles, kind of like other bidders were.
Okay.
That
All
sounds
right.
good.
Thank you very much.
All right. Hey, thank you, Brian.
Thank you. And there will be some resolutions to sign later this evening. If you could just give me a copy of those after they're signed.
Will do.
Thank you very much,
Alright.
guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Be careful.
You are released.
Should we do-
Finish your public comment. Yeah.
Okay, anybody else? Public comment? No?
I thought you was talking about new business.
Not, no, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Here comes another one.
But if you have an issue,
No, it's just about my water. I had to come in tonight to talk to you about my water, because I had to fix it multiple times.
So this is Bill Regan, Tim Brown, and they have an underground line break. So they made a repair, and I've issued one adjustment, and then they've had another leak spring. So they're basically, I think they're asking for a second adjustment. I don't have another bill generated yet because we don't read again until the 24th. So they're definitely going to overlap, and he was definitely losing a lot of water. So I just have to. So that's what they're asking
Yeah.
for.
yeah, now is the time to talk about that. So, go ahead,
You want me to come up there?
well, you can just stand up and talk
Okay.
right there.
Well, anyway, what happened was, the initial leak was right about the time that you read the meters.
Okay.
She adjusted that bill. We had several thousand gallons over what we normally use. And then I repaired it, let it set open for a day, backfilled it, and it sprung a leak again in another spot. Dug it back up, repaired it, let them know about it, and I left it open this time for a couple of days. It broke in another spot. And I ended up having to fix it 3 more times. And at that point, I decided that I would rent a trencher, and I've just got done. I'm still backfilling at this point. I haven't got all that done yet. I've trenched everything up, and a brand new line from the meter all the way to the house.
Okay.
So hopefully we won't have any more leaks, and technically it's only gonna be, what, the second adjustment anyway? 'Cause you
Yeah,
don't
it's gonna be the second
Yeah.
adjustment, and it's all gonna be in the same period
Yeah.
from the last meter read until we read again on the 24th. So,
Yeah. Do you
yeah.
need to see any of the paperwork?
I already have some paperwork from him. I mean,
You
I
could
can make a couple more
have Natalie
copies.
make some copies of that.
Here, let me-
Yeah, this is-
So you're basically wanting to see what your water bill will be this next time, and
Yeah.
then
I think
see-
he's just asking for us to just go ahead and make
For
the
a second
adjustment when it's
adjustment, then all the
processed.
leaks are fixed now.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if
since
this
you
leaks
brought in
again,
all the receipts and all that,
hopefully it won't leak anymore, it's all
Yeah.
me.
It's a good adjustment.
nobody has a problem with that? Okay, we'll probably just go ahead with that adjustment at that
Thank you
time.
very much.
Anything else? Or Did
That's
you have
all.
to use our backhoe or excavator?
No, I rented a trencher and did it all myself.
Because
I
I
did,
think you
I
were
did.
quoted the wrong price.
Excuse me?
Didn't somebody quote you a price on using that by hour?
Yeah, I was originally quoted $100 an hour, minimum 2 hours, and later found out it was only $50 an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah, we probably need to make
So
sure
Carol,
everybody's
just make a
aware.
motion and take a vote on the second adjustment.
Okay, okay,
Thank
can I
you.
have a motion?
So it is $50
For
an
Can I
hour.
make a motion?
It
Yes.
is $50 an hour to use the excavator, yes, with a 2-hour minimum, so it's $100 minimum.
I make a motion.
I'll second. Okay.
We
Thank you.
appreciate your time very much.
Okay.
Well, we
Okay,
appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Mhm. Yes, thank you. What's your vote? All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. What do they live at?
Over on
They're on Sinclair.
Sinclair Depot back in there.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Faces Depot,
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're. He's got two different accounts for two different structures, so.
Oh.
Now, is that $50 an hour, or is it with an operator?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. We don't do it very often.
I
Yeah.
mean, should we
So,
change that? I mean, you could
Well,
think
no,
about
I was
that.
just making sure
Yeah,
I had not understood
yeah,
yeah.
if I was ever asked or something.
yeah, so,
Mike told him it was $100 an hour, and even at $100 an hour, it's still a deal
Oh, yeah.
to
yeah.
have a machine and everything.
I assume that's not leaving the town of Rosedale, huh?
No, it's not leaving the town of Rosedale.
Bummer.
And last time we used it to bury something, so, yeah.
Anybody else, do you have any comments?
I came, the house across the street. I talked to the police chief, fire marshal about.
Oh, you have the
repairs.
saloon?
Yeah, the saloon.
Okay.
We're working on it. If you saw last week, I had crew guys down here all week. And
Right.
we're getting it all painted and it'll be nice, street-faced and mowed and everything. We're gonna try to do a much better job of keeping it up on it. But I wanted to come in and just say, I am responsive to your
Oh,
concerns.
okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Do we have his contact information?
I can contact him.
Marshall Bratcher has it, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
That's all we needed.
Yep.
So like I said, we're talking to one of the neighbors to mow it, like
Yeah.
every time they mow their yards, so the mowing will be much better.
So tell us a little bit about your business then.
My business, I actually own the Indiana State Sanatorium up in Rockville. I bought the old State Tuberculosis Hospital. I'm also the owner of Billy Creek Village in Rockville. And we're getting the old Presbyterian Church, kind of a thing for old buildings. Up in Rockville, we do a lot of different things. We do events at Billy Creek. We're bringing Civil War days back and doing that kind of stuff. One of the ideas I had for the building was actually moving it to Billy Creek. I kind of thought it was a neat old building from the 1880s and was that. But for, believe it or not, people pay to come from all over the world to look for ghosts. And that is one of the things that they look for in the building. Back in the like 1900, there was the innkeeper killed his wife there, and so that's what they come for. So,
Yeah.
but we're gonna put some beds in it, pay the hotel tax or the county hotel tax. That should kick a little bit more money back to you, and so it's not a lot, but that's what we're doing with it.
Well, during Bridge Festival, you might have some people who
Yes.
like to stay there.
Yes. So, so we'll hopefully get it open and have someone down there explain what's going on with it during Bridge Fest. So I know you guys are trying to improve your Bridge
You
Fest.
could have like a melodrama reenactment.
Not quite, but there might be a television show filmed there
Oh, okay.
very shortly. So I don't know if that's the kind of thing you want or not want, but so
Well, thank you for
All right.
coming in.
Thank you.
not a problem.
Okay, this guy went now.
So now you're back to, old business.
That's okay.
So stormwater, Brian went into old business.
No.
Your agenda? I don't know where
Alright. So old business, we talked about the stormwater, and that seems to be going forward great. What else can we talk about tonight? Do you
What
want
else
to
do
do
you want to
this?
talk about? We can talk about the USDA grant.
Oh, okay.
As everyone is aware, we have received our pickup truck. We had it delivered. It was $142 well spent. That bill is on your bills tonight. They brought it to us. It's beautiful. Guys are scared to drive it. They're afraid to get it dirty. And last I heard, they would like to keep the old truck.
Yeah.
But neither one of them are here tonight to confirm or deny that.
I can confirm that.
they would like to keep it.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
talked about it. They talked about keeping the sprayer in it and
Yeah.
this, that, and the other, and some odds and ends. So
So
I
yeah.
actually told Mike he needed to be here tonight so he could bring that up. But
Right. I didn't talk to him this afternoon before he left. I mean, whether or not they need to keep it is up to them. I know they weren't going to move the sprayer for now. They can move that in the springtime. But if you haven't gotten a good look at it, it is over in the garage. It is very, very nice.
Very nice.
Very well equipped. Marshall Bratcher did a really good job of specking it out. I know he had a little bit of help from our previous street superintendent, Jace, on just some things that would be nice. And it is really, really nice. So that's where we're at on that. I requested the funds for that. I got that grant money. All of that grant has paid out to us now for both the police vehicle, the equipment, and the police car and the town truck. So the USDA part is done. Kevin, where are we at? Police car. We're hoping end of the week.
they called me Friday and said it had been taken into the shop last Thursday. Had a couple questions about the video system. I tried to nail the guy down on a time frame. He said possibly late this week, but he didn't want to offer up too much because he said as soon as he did that the building would get struck by lightning, they wouldn't have power for 3 days. He said as soon as I give you a day, something will go bad.
Are you gonna
So-
go up and get it?
Yeah, we'll have to go up and get it because we have to take the Explorer up.
Okay.
They have to take the radio out of the Explorer, the printer out of the Explorer. What else? They got to measure the guns, the rifle and the shotgun. And then once we take that up there, we're leaving the Explorer, and we should be bringing the Tahoe back.
Oh,
I'm going to take the Explorer to Terre Haute tomorrow and meet up with West Terre Haute guy to get some of their equipment that's going to be put in that.
oh,
So I'll be going to Terre Haute in it tomorrow to meet up with him and pick their stuff up. He's going to meet me halfway. Going into Terre Haute tomorrow, so maybe by Friday, if not, hopefully first part of next week.
So the only piece of the funding puzzle that's missing is West Terre Haute's payment for the police car. So as soon as they take possession for that,
Yep.
we can get that money finished and
And as soon as I tell him,
everything complete.
as soon as I tell him that we want to check, I mean they've been ready to write the check for 4 or 5 months.
Right. So
Are
and
you able to get a bill of sale done?
I didn't get to it today. I've had a crazy day, but I'll get it to you first thing in the morning.
That's
Just
fine.
come
Well, I
by.
can
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
as soon as we take it up there, we know we're leaving it. Then we're going to do the swap. We've got the title and the bill of sale to give to them. They're going to cut us a check, and then we'll be done with it.
yep.
actually, I thought it went pretty smoothly and that your grant guy was,
Mr. McGee. Yes, he's
Yeah,
Mr.
excellent.
McGee from the
Yes.
USDA makes the grant process
yeah, he did an
pretty
excellent job.
easy.
Yes, he
You
did.
just
he was
follow
really
what he tells you to do, and it's pretty easy.
Sounds good.
Takes a while, but that's not his fault.
Right.
good. You can go to water meter replacement.
Okay, we did get some of our new water meters, which we will start replacing. We've got
We're waiting on the lids because we do have to replace the lids. They have to go from metal to plastic because everything's going to be cellular now. So we're waiting on the lids. I'm expecting to see Matt Kingery this week, and he will walk Mike and Cliff through replacing them. It'll be a little bit intense, and Andrea or myself is going to also have to go along, just because some meters are for AT&T served houses and some meters are for Verizon. So we will have to make sure we get the right meter on the right house, and then the right meter numbers come back to us to input into the system. So I would say that one of us is going to have to tag along and make sure all that gets done. So, but yes, we're ready to get that process started.
if somebody changes their carrier, they're gonna have to let
No,
us know.
that's not. That's not it.
not.
It's just
Okay.
where the better coverage is.
Okay,
So what they did is he
I
took
got it.
all the geo-tracking, GIS mapping stuff, and each meter is better served by a carrier.
Okay.
So your ones outside of town are better served by one carrier, but then even some areas in town are better served by Verizon, and some are better served by AT&T.
Are there situations where it goes from one to the next and back to the first?
Yes.
And just,
Yes.
That's
So,
crazy.
and I feel like most of them, a lot of them were AT&T, but then there's a lot of I don't know. It's really interesting to
that
me.
is interesting.
So, but they did that work for us. So, and not all of them, they did a giant spreadsheet for us and it was in no specific order. So Andrea had to go through and match up all of the non-reading ones with that spreadsheet to see which one it was. And some of them were not on there. I think that's probably, and so I just went ahead and designated them as the same as a house near them.
Okay.
So we, and then we have about 40 or so that are not reading, so then we have some extra meters, so we can have some as they continue to fail on us. No, they're not failing, continue to stop reading, and we have to manually read them, so.
Are there some that aren't readable by cellular signal at all?
As of now, he hasn't said that, so,
I'm surprised.
yeah. Which we still have our radio reading equipment for right now,
Right.
so.
Okay, should we do the,
Oh, yeah, you need to do this additional appropriation and then you need to do that election one. And that's all, old business.
okay.
You just guys need to take a vote on it, it's no big deal. Okay.
Cancel the election.
Do the additional appropriation first.
Okay.
So I advertised for an additional appropriation of $7,000. ARP money has to be spent by appropriation. And so $7,000 of that is going towards this first big batch of meters that we're purchasing, just to make it a little easier on the utilities. So I advertised for an additional appropriation. I just need you guys to take action and approve that.
$7,000.
$7,000, yes, it's already been advertised.
Okay. Anybody like to make a motion on that?
I'll make a
Wanna look
motion.
at it?
Barb will make a motion.
Motion. Two's gonna have to second it. What are we seconding?
You don't really have anything to-
$7,000 on the water meter appropriation.
No,
I'll
they don't have
second
anything
that.
like that. Oh, Becky seconded.
Okay.
Okay. With the cat drug in.
Well,
Oh, he
Hi,
doesn't-
Cody.
he doesn't look happy. Be happy, Cody, be
They all
happy.
take a vote.
Okay,
Smile
all-
here on camera. Be happy.
Mr. Cody, we are appropriating $7,000 to start on the meters. And Barb and Becky's already made a motion to do that, so I need all in favor.
Aye.
And then you can do the election resolution. You probably need to read that one.
Well, this fall would have been the election for town board and,
That's not it.
that's not it?
No. It's this small one. It's right, oh, it's right here. That's the big one.
Oh. Alright. What's this
This
one?
is mine. That's the stormwater one.
Oh. Would have been the election for town board members and for the clerk treasurer this year, but there were no, Nally is the only applicant for town clerk. There were no applicants for the town board. So therefore, we are, as the town council, we are acting as the de facto town election board since it was never formed because lack of interest. So we are deciding to cancel the 2023 town election. Can you read all that?
Yes.
Okay. Whereas the Rosedale Town Council is acting as a de facto town election board as the election board was never formed due to lack of interest. Whereas a municipal election is scheduled to occur in the town of Rosedale on November 7th, 2023, and whereas after examining all declarations, including write-in declarations, certifications, and petitions, The election board has determined that there are less nominees for election to office than there are offices up for election, and that there are no contests for any office up for election in the town this year. Be it therefore resolved that, based upon the foregoing and pursuant to IC 3107-6E, the Rosedale Election Board unanimously resolves and hereby orders that there will be no election held for any office up for election this year in the town of Rosedale, and that after November 7th, 2023, the Rosedale Town Clerk shall, upon demand of the candidate, certify all unopposed candidates for any town office in the same manner as if elected to office as provided in IC 31253. And that it's being adopted this 12th day of September 2023.
So you need a motion?
I need a motion to pass this ordinance, Resolution 2023-4.
Make a motion to pass.
Cody?
Cody. Do I hear a second?
Okay, I'll second.
Barb? All in favor, take your vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Resolution is passed.
Okay, pass that down and have everybody sign it. There's not enough lines, but everybody sign that, please. Okay. While you're doing that, I will say, Cody, there's a couple things I need you to sign in that file right there.
I signed it.
Okay. Sign those minutes too, because you were acting as president last.
Oh, okay.
On the Depot Street property, I have turned over the deed to Mr. Lytle, and I sent it to him in the mail, and that is all transferred out the courthouse, so that is complete.
Good.
And I talked to him, and he knows what to do next, so.
What's this CCNG construction?
Oh, that's our community crossings.
Oh,
And community crossings has obviously begun.
yes.
I believe they're paving next week, Mike said, was the plan.
I haven't heard.
I think that's what Mike told me when he talked to him, or Cliff told me yesterday. Someone told me that yesterday, that they plan to pave next week. They were still doing a few of the corners and the detectable warning surfaces, the ADA ramps and that kind of stuff. They were still doing a little bit of that.
Are they doing more milling on Park?
I haven't been back by Park. Becky, is it pretty milled down?
It was
I haven't been on it.
Oh, okay.
I was on it yesterday, they milled the ends,
the
Mill the
ends,
ends.
yeah.
Okay.
just like they milled down so they'll have some place to run it. Like
Okay.
the middle of the road,
Okay.
they hadn't, like,
They
they
hadn't
didn't do the
done
whole
that
road.
yet. Okay. All right. So I don't know about
I'm
that.
assuming they're going
but-
to mill that down some more.
I'm sure they will. So Main Street's down. So I was hoping Mike would be here tonight because he did talk to him about the very far south end around Lowell's Lane where we always have that water standing. He said they had some way they wanted to slope it to divert the water a little bit better. So I was like, well, whatever. So as long as that is a good spot again,
Right.
and the
They're
crown of the
wanting to
road is
raise,
correct.
I was down there yesterday, sorry, but they're wanting to raise over there in front of McMullen's and
Mhm.
Tony Green's old house, and basically kind of make it slope to the other side,
Okay.
is what they were talking about, because,
So make it slope into White's yard?
well, not necessarily White's
Not-
yard, but more back a little further where it could catch off the side of the Main Street.
Okay.
But the guy that was there, the superintendent of the concrete crew, said that if somebody from the town, Mike or somebody could be available to catch the paving superintendent when they come into town,
Mm-hmm.
kind of talk with them, and they'll work there to
Okay.
kind of make that better.
Okay, I'll touch base with him then.
Because they were talking about that low spot on West Street that they
Yeah,
left.
that they left, yes, when we did that project, yes, it drives me crazy every time I drive through it.
It would be nice to have those ditches back along West Street that we used to have 100 years ago.
Yes. I remember those, that 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that's all your old
Oh my,
business.
that's all our
particularly.
old business.
Yeah.
Can we start a new business? and we'll-
You can, I mean, this is kind of old business, this is kind of, but it is a new ordinance, so.
All right.
You gotta read all
Huh?
that. Read all that.
No, just this. Get a pillow. And to read it all. Okay, we have here before me ordinance number 2023-2, Town of Rosedale. This is concerning our stormwater system that we are going to be putting in, that we talked about earlier in the meeting. And that probably will be in next month or November.
We're not there yet,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, an ordinance concerning the construction of certain additions, extensions, and improvements to the sewer and stormwater systems of the town of Rosedale. The issuance of revenue bonds to provide the cost thereof, the collection, segregation, and distribution of the revenues of said works, the safeguarding of the interest of the owners of said revenue bonds, other matters connected therewith, and repealing ordinances, resolutions, or other instruments inconsistent herewith. And this is a 32-page.
Media requests a full reading of the ordinance.
Shut the video off. Unplug him.
I decline that.
Start reading.
My mouth's drying up already.
All right, withdrawn.
Okay. So if anybody would
No,
like
I
to
meant for
review
You know what,
this.
how about
I mean,
DJ
this
just,
is
yeah,
this is really just concerning the borrowing of money from SRF, a portion of the money that you're going to be paying towards this project. I think part of it's going to be ARPA, part of it's going to be this, and then the bulk of it's going to be a grant.
yes.
So this just concerns the borrowing of the money from SRF, how that will be done, what SRF then requires you to do in segregating funds, so they know that the money's going to be paid back and so forth. It does have to be, it is an ordinance, so of course it has to be passed twice, but we do need to pass it twice tonight because we have to close by October 31st.
Okay.
And there is a notice that has to be published once this is passed the second time, and give the public 20 days to respond to it. That's why we're trying to get it passed all tonight, so we might not have to have a special meeting.
Okay, so, by the way, this is DJ Bonomo, who works
I was going to ask you who he is.
This is
I
DJ
work with
Bonomo.
Scott,
He's
so-
an attorney in Scott Craig's office. I should have said that in the beginning. So you guys will have to have a motion to suspend the rules and pass this in one meeting. And after you do that, then you'll have to do another motion to pass it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, this is all legal stuff.
Yeah, you might just want to pass it, first reading,
Oh.
then do the motion
Then
to suspend the rules,
okay.
pass that, and then do the motion for the second reading.
Yeah.
And they all have to
Pass
be
that.
here to do that, right? Is that correct?
Yes, everyone has to be in attendance in order to do suspend the rules.
Same day,
Yes.
same meeting.
Or, thank goodness all present now.
Yes.
Since we're all here, how can we do it now?
So you need a motion to pass it for the first
Make a
read.
motion.
I will make a motion to pass the first read.
I will second.
Okay, thank you, Ken.
Somebody else is going to.
Okay, you gotta take a vote.
Okay, well, let's have a vote on passing ordinance 2023-2.
Aye.
Second.
Aye.
Everybody.
Aye.
You say aye too.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye. I did it.
Aye.
Now you need a motion, now you need a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay.
I will make a motion to suspend the rules for,
A minute. Okay,
Okay, Cody's got that.
all right.
Now you need a second.
And I will second it.
A second again from Ken. Thanks for making it easy on me. And now you need to take a vote.
Okay. All in favor of second reading of 2023-2?
No.
Suspension of rules.
Suspension of rules, sorry. Suspension of rules about reading. All in favor?
aye.
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 Okay. Okay, now,
Now you're on your second read.
okay, Cody,
You need a motion?
I need a motion
Okay.
for the second reading.
I make a motion to pass the second read of the,
Okay, first is Cody,
And I will second it
And
again.
Ken will second.
second again. Now take your vote.
All in favor?
aye.
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 What would you do with me if I said no? What? We wouldn't have
The
any.
next thing, do we go
We
back?
wouldn't pass.
Float me in the middle of the line.
Yeah, so that's done.
Okay.
That one's done. And then tomorrow I'll send this notice to the newspaper because I already have it to go. And then it'll
Okay.
advertise for 20 days. Yep, I already have it.
Actually, I have a question. Now we determined they all have to be here. Does the vote have to be anonymous? Unanimous?
The vote has to be unanimous to suspend the rules.
Yes.
But only to suspend the rules.
Only to suspend the rules, but it has to been passed by
Majority.
2/3,
2/3.
which would mean 4 in this case.
So does that
Which some
both
people
readings
get
have to
tripped
pass
up.
by 2/3?
I think it's just the second would have to pass by 2/3, but in this case, it's
Sure.
it's okay anyway. But yeah, some people get tripped up on with the 5 people. They think that 3 would still be good enough, and it's not. It's actually 4.
Oh, good to know. Okay, so Miss Naomi, you want to sign that?
I don't, but I will. Oh, I signed in the wrong place.
Sign the wrong place.
Let me get my,
Page 14.
let me get some white.
Here, I've got another page.
Blank one. We got a
Well,
page.
if I can find page 14 in this mess. There you go. Page 14.
Alright.
I'm letting somebody else do that.
That's like a different.
I've signed in the wrong place more than once.
Just sign that and then I'll,
Okay.
just sign that and then I'll, yeah, it is, the format is different. It's not the same.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's not your
Once
fault.
we
I'm
lose
the
it in
one that-
translation, once it gets
That goes with
I'm the
your
one that signed it in the wrong
emailed
place.
and printed and
I've had a
yeah.
long day with this project today. And
That's his,
I'm up to here.
He gave us that copy to go with our.
So,
we're gonna resend it,
we're just gonna
because
fix
the
it.
format's different. This is
Yeah, it doesn't have the
all
same
in there.
language on it,
Yeah.
so it's okay. You know what? You guys need to go back and probably my fault, but you need to go back and approve your minutes from your last meeting.
Oh.
We
Yeah.
skipped that because we were in public comment and then. So.
Did everybody get a chance to look at the meeting minutes?
Need to vote on that.
Now you can sign this. You can have this one back, EJ.
Oh,
And it's also recorded.
It's on, yeah. You want a copy of this one?
no, if you've got it, that's
Okay.
fine.
Alright.
Do I get a motion?
Oh, are they looking at minutes now?
Are you looking
Hold
at
on.
your minutes?
I'll make a motion to pass last month's minutes.
I'll second it.
Alright, thank you, Cody.
Hey, Boo. Hey, what's up?
All in favor? Aye. Do you have anything else for us, DJ?
No, I don't. This light reading.
Oh, 29,000 pages of it.
If you want to get a good night's rest, start reading that.
Okay. Then the election, we did that.
Elections from addition. We talked about that. I have a couple things to say, kind of new budget related, or new business related. We received some opioid money from the state. We received $161.70 in unrestricted money. That's really nice. And then we received another $425 in opioid money. And then the state sent us an email and said we had to send that back because that wasn't really our money. So I've returned that to the county. If your community was set to receive less than $5,000 in the restricted abatement portion of the opioid settlement, it was not to go directly to the town, it was to go to the county. And the state made a mistake after telling us we weren't getting it, and they sent it all to us, and then they told us to send it all back. So I've sent my money back to the auditor's office. Marianne did not know what she was supposed to do with that money. I sent her a copy of the email, so that money is gone, but we did receive an additional $161.70 that I don't know how to use. There's that. That
If
brings
it's
your-
unrestricted, can you just put it in the general fund?
Well, it has to stay in its own fund, and so currently in unrestricted opioid money we have $1,065.41. In restricted opioid money we have $2,581.09. Most clerk treasurers are not spending any of this money because it's just not clear what we can do with it. So, that's what I wanted to say about that.
I would think with opioid.
Are we expecting
Federal government work.
So
Kid yourself.
all the attorney general's offices across the country sued all of the makers of all these drugs that have caused the opioid epidemic. So the money that came this last month from the state was part of the Mallinckrodt bankruptcy. They were a maker of some of the drugs and they've gone bankrupt, so this was their bankruptcy part of their money. The first money that we received was from Johnson & Johnson's settlement. There are 2 more pending settlements. There is more of this money to come down the pipe. And the first settlement will pay out over the next 20 years. We'll still continue to get money. And so in the meantime, just nobody is clear on what we can do with it. So until then, it'll just sit there.
I would think that would be something we could use for like Narcan or something like that for the police department.
Right,
That's what I would
and-
assume
I mean,
we could probably use
Kevin
it
and
for.
I talked about it a couple times, and he's not really sure what to do with it either. And so, I mean, I'm sure we can find a use for it, but as long as it has to go into their parameters, but they just haven't been really clear on what those are. I mean, there's probably about 500 pages if you want to read all that, so. So yes, government at work. And I was the first one to turn mine back in because Marianne didn't. She was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Why are you giving me this?" And then I wanted to let everybody know that I had a little bit of debit card fraud on the town debit card, which I've shut it down. I have two charges to Amazon from the town debit card. One for $31.14 and $35.95. So I'm disputing these charges. I have a new debit card. The debit card was in the safe when all of this occurred, and it hasn't been used since Carol last used it at Sam's Club for food for Mr. McMullen's services. So, got that handled.
On me.
So it's, yeah, I mean, I guess it could be worse. I guess $66 isn't that bad. It's still just a pain nonetheless.
Did they have what was bought, do you know?
I don't know. All I know is I have 2 charges from Amazon. And I
I think
don't
if
have
you're
any
gonna do a
products.
fraud, you just earn the charge and buy something that costs more than $35.
Right,
You
exactly.
gotta catch a charge, earn it.
Yeah.
They were testing
Um,
the waters to see if they could get away from it, get away with it.
Well, I've shut her down pretty quickly. I have filed a wastewater lien against a customer here in town. The auditor's office is still not sure how that works. Marion said that she has never done one, and they have new software since the last one that I did a few years ago. But I have recorded that at the recorder's office. I'm waiting to hear back from her before I send this customer this letter.
Is that the same one we were talking
Yes,
about?
that's the one we
I
talked
figured.
about last month.
$600 and some dollars. That one month's not.
And tonight we were supposed to do our budget hearing. We did not do our budget hearing because I failed to file the Form 3 in a timely fashion. I was a day late. So I have to have a budget hearing next Tuesday night. I just need a couple of you to attend. I don't have to have, and it'll just to go over the budget. But this is my current budget. If you want to make any changes, I do believe I have a little bit of leeway. There's some money I didn't put into it yet. I should have about another $5,000 to spend in the general fund. That's not from what I asked her for. And I mean, the rest of it's pretty cut and dry. So if you have any questions, if you want to move any money around, please let me know. I just kind of play off of last year, and like Carol wanted to get a roof this year, so I gave her extra money in cemetery, and then she didn't get a roof.
Yeah, but I do have a one estimate, and I'm sure.
Yeah, because I have nothing in this one for that, but I did have money this year for you. I think I put $2,000 into that this year for you.
Okay, can we hold some back like we did that winter?
We did encumber some.
Yeah.
We did. I could probably encumber some if we need to span. I have $2,000 still sitting there.
Yeah.
So,
Let's keep that.
and then if you want me to add some to next year, I can.
Okay.
How much do you need?
Well, I'm thinking, around 6.
Okay. I don't know if I can squeak out another 4 from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if the need is 6. All right.
Start selling graves.
Let me see what kind of stuff Let me
Let's
see what I can
start
come up
selling
with
graves.
on the cemetery. Okay. All right. Let me see what I can come up with. Play with those numbers.
Well, we've sold a few there lately. Where does that money go?
I sold one the other day. It just goes into the general fund.
Okay.
So yeah, give your budget a look. Let me know if there's something we want to focus on. I know we're used to that. I've also filled out some paperwork with EMS. This is kind of under Chris O'Brien. Was the state? They consider like the big storm that came through to be kind of a disaster type situation. So they're doing it a little bit differently now, and they are paying out communities like ours for labor related to storm cleanup. So I filled out some forms, and Carol signed some forms for the Department of Homeland Security. I figured each of the guys had about 24 hours apiece in cleaning up brush, clearing roads, cutting down trees later, and that kind of stuff. So I've asked the state for about $700 back. We'll see what we get. So just some more paperwork.
Are the bills down there somewhere?
Yeah, Becky has the bills.
Okay.
And then that's all I have for my stuff.
So what time does the budget meeting? You said
The budget meeting,
next
it'll
week?
be at 7 again. Yeah.
Next
it'll
Tuesday.
Just be a fast one. So,
I'm not at house till 7. So
oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just as long as I have a couple people. Our budget hearing is before the next meeting. That's our adoption hearing. Or this is our budget hearing, and that's our adoption. I'm saying that backwards. Yeah, the next meeting is adoption, but I have to have a hearing, a public hearing in between now and then. So I'll put a couple sites up at the post office and everything, but that form I had on my calendar and I didn't flip my calendar, and that was my fault. So. But Catherine fixed it for me so I could do it next week. So.
Messed up the town.
Too much stuff going on in here
Street
lately.
department, whatever. The garage or
So
fire department.
that's all the new business I had.
If she's talking about the bills, I got some money.
Let's do that.
For the 14.
So
No,
Becky don't
I
have.
don't. I have clerk report stuff in the clerk report time.
Should we do departments, Pam?
Yes, you can do departments. Unless anybody else has new business.
I guess I just had a
Anybody
question. I don't know if it's new business, but what's a
Okay.
water leak or whatever in front of the AT&T building? What is, I mean, I just,
I
I see it pooling up there a lot, so.
That's a wonderful question, and so they used 100,000 gallons worth of water last month. They generated a huge water bill. Mike has been on the phone trying to get a hold of someone to why they stopped mowing the building. They also stopped mowing their Clinton building. The AT&T techs are in and out of that building all the time. Mike has stopped and talked to him. I think Carol's probably harassed them as well. They know nothing about anything. Their water bill is paid by a third party bill payer. So she actually called me last week and wanted to know why their bill was so high. I mean, that's a huge bill for 100,000 gallons worth of water. And I explained to her that there's water running out of a garden hose out front.
Is that what it is? I mean,
There's some kind of a hose coming out of the front of the building.
okay, I haven't actually stopped,
Plus,
folks. I just see it
there's
all.
a big hole with air blowing out.
Yeah, like the front door's been taken off
Well,
and
that's
there's
been that way for a
plywood.
while.
Green.
So, but they actually put the door back on and then they've done that again. She was typing furiously as I was kind of yelling at her at the same time, that she was gonna send all that information to AT&T, that is their bill, that was not a mistake, and that we do not know what's going on with the building, but we do expect that it needs to be mowed. Randy Nealon has been graciously mowing it.
Well, that's who mowed it.
That's really nice of him, but if he continues to mow it, then they're gonna think, we don't need to mow it, we don't need to take care of it, because the neighbor will just take care of it. And that's what happened in Clinton as well. A neighbor mowed it because they didn't want it to look that way for Little Italy Festival. So I think that they really need to be held responsible, but it's impossible to get to anyone. And I'm still in dispute with AT&T over the town phone.
Well, I'm arguing with AT&T, and I contacted the Attorney General's office for a complaint thing, and I have never received my complaint form yet in the mail.
And you never will.
So speaking of AT&T, I don't know if anybody else seen this on the Facebook group. But,
Oh, about joint,
yeah.
yes. Everybody needs to fill that out.
I was gonna say yes. If
Encourage everyone to fill that out.
What is it?
So yeah, Ken, that's all I know about the AT&T building, but yes.
It's a joint survey.
Mhm.
So there's a
if
kid that lives
40% of the area will fill out this form, it allows Joint to open up
Okay.
and come into our
There's a
community.
guy that lives here in town that's an installation guy for Joint. He started
He's
that.
pushing it.
I believe that, according to another joint employee, we were already being considered for that expansion as well.
I thought they
Yeah,
determined that we didn't qualify.
they
the last time.
determined that we didn't qualify, but that was a wireless
Yeah.
effort they were making. The fiber optic is a little bit different, so I think that we're already kind of on the list for that.
Well, they ran the fiber from down the school road, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
I
thought
don't
they
think
did.
so. I don't think so.
Because I thought that Joint
When I
had the
called
school.
Joint about internet, they said they didn't service us yet.
Not yet. So, but yeah, when I had a really cruddy day today, so maybe tomorrow my day at yelling at AT&T will work out great.
Right.
There you go.
So,
Well, there's no
Oh,
excuse
no, I
for
did on
that.
the cruddy days.
The one guy I talked
This
to
is
at
a
AT&T,
multi-million-dollar company, and that's the way their building looks. That's
Well, I can
ridiculous.
tell you, there's a reason I don't work for AT&T.
What does that building even do? I mean, what's the purpose of it?
It was the landline building,
Okay.
so apparently,
but it is some kind of a service center of some sort. I even called a local guy that didn't call me back, and I was going to call his supervisor too. So I made some
I'm
calls.
assuming it was kind of water cooled or something, because why else would they be draining water out of
let's
there
hope it doesn't blow up.
for this long?
Or anything like
That water's putrid.
When dial
That's
phones
gross.
first went in, Ken, they
The what did?
when dial phones first went in, they took us school kids down there
We should take
And there's all this
We should have the
da-da-da-da-da
news
equipment.
crew come out.
Okay.
Actually, that
That's
was
the old
not-
switching board, right?
It's true,
Huh?
It's the old switching board, right?
No,
Or
no.
that's what it used to be. I guess.
Well, it wasn't a switchboard, but it was used. So I don't know if they still.
So,
Okay.
But my landline's not working. I haven't
Any other
worked
new
for almost a
business?
month.
Any other new business? Kevin, do you have anything, Michael?
we can go under the pen.
Okay. Should we talk about the park?
I'll let's do that in the park.
Okay. Would you have park?
What?
Nothing.
Okay, so you're at water sewer.
I'm at water sewer here, and that is, we're doing departments now. 94 penalties, no shut-offs, no tags.
Yeah, I just made phone calls last month.
We did have a couple of leaks, so didn't we?
We did have some pretty good sized leaks, so I have made some adjustments for some leaks. As far as water and wastewater, I haven't heard anything from Rob. Haven't heard anything from Gary, so I'm just gonna assume everything's going fine on their end. So,
The school did have a major blockage, but it didn't seem to affect the town.
yeah.
Wasn't there an issue or something with a pump last?
Yeah, the pump is out. The south
Okay, it's
pump
still
house.
out.
Yeah, and I haven't gotten it. I know Ortman's was down there and they were supposed to give us a quote on it, but I'm sure that a new pump for that building is not cheap. We were hoping it was just an electrical issue, but I mean, the last pump we bought was like $12,000, so.
It's not enough opioid money for that.
Yeah. I'd put it on that too.
Yeah. Okay, street.
So Mike and Cliff are not here, but they did redo Woods Alley.
Yes, they did.
They were pretty proud of that project. They have been communication back and forth and helping coordinate where they were going to dump the stuff with DC Construction. They did replace the flag. They took down the flags.
Put up the new banner.
New banners are up. I believe Cliff has graded out some more alleys.
Yeah.
He graded out the cemetery drive too.
Right.
He likes that grader.
Yes, I like that. He likes it.
That's all on the streets.
Yeah.
So.
What are we gonna do with those millings? Have we decided? Are we really gonna put them on the alleys or not?
The discussion's been put on the alleys, but I have given away some to some people that have asked me because we had so many last time, and those millings are only good for so long.
Did they dump in the same spot behind the church?
Yeah, they did dump in the same
'Cause I haven't
spot.
been over there. So.
But those millings do make good alleys.
Yes, they do. They do a good job in the alleys, but you have to use them now. You can't let them sit for like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because then they just clump back up and they're terrible. So I did. A couple people have asked me, and I said, "Hey, go get some. I don't care. That's fine." Because we don't have use for all of them. There's a lot. There's a lot more than I thought there would be.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I wish we could think of something good for that. Would they need it out of the sewer plant in
he
some
could
areas?
he could do the drive to the sewer plant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or just around where there's weeds, so there's a little bit easier way to control the weeds back there.
I don't know. So
Well,
then you
something
just
to
have them
look
growing
at.
through the millings. I wouldn't probably do that, but
How long can those millings sit before they're?
Okay. Park.
Yes, I got some in my
Barb, would
driveway
you like
that's
to
been
talk
there.
about the park?
The park's been kind of bumpy lately, to say the least. We installed the new swing set, and it's been kind of a sore spot for one of the neighbors. Bunches of teenagers have been on the swings set, and all during the night, Carol and I did a little trip over there the other night, and we were kind of talked to about, as many times as we want to drive over there, it's not going to make a difference because they're on there in the midnight. They're on, and we need probably an ordinance for the park. Carol and I kind of looked up an ordinance for the park. We don't have an ordinance for the park.
I think we have an ordinance for the
You
park.
think we have an ordinance? I don't.
What's the
We
complaint?
couldn't find a
I think it's a part of something else.
So what's the actual
Well,
complaint? Just too
I
much
think
noise?
it's under
Well, I think Marshall
There's
Bratcher
curfew
had to go
and
over there one
there's
evening. And they
noise
had-
complaint.
I think there was one night there was one of her cats was being trying
That
to
was the
vet.
night, that was last month when the deputy came in here and got
Yeah,
me.
the deputy came in and you said he couldn't do anything about it because it was the town park.
Right, and I banned the young lady from the park for a month.
Right. She was trying to feed her.
I think
one
it's
of
in the
cats
back
to a pit
about,
bull.
the only thing I
Pit
can
bull.
find about the park,
not
like
pleasant.
76-1 or something like
Yeah,
that.
the county deputies cannot enforce town ordinances. Only we
So
can.
my question is, we need
I don't have a good answer
an
how you
ordinance.
I don't have a good answer on how you keep teenagers off of equipment for little kids and
Right.
keep them out. I mean,
Yeah.
And the noise level, that's the one that lives next door. She's.
But I guess what I'm hearing is if we pass the town ordinance, then would that stop the deputies from being able to do anything? I mean,
No,
then
that
we would
gives
just be
them the
dependent on you then,
opportunity
or
any town ordinance, you're dependent on us.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we don't pass one, then it would still be open where they could do something.
Only if it's a violation of state law. They have
I
to
know I'm
violate
saying this
state-
Is there a curfew, state?
I think it's 11 Sunday through Thursday and 1 a.m. on.
I think
Fridays
it's
and
midnight
Saturdays.
Friday. I thought I saw midnight in there, in the state.
1 a.m.
I think that's too late.
And
I don't
that's
think they
Friday.
should park it.
The town can make its own curfew for the park and
I
make an
thought we
ordinance.
talked about this at one point, and it closes at dawn.
Does.
Does.
It does.
That's yeah.
No, apparently that sign's not over there. Apparently that's at the cemetery.
I didn't see a sign over there either. I
We
went
don't
around there
have
yesterday
one.
and looked. I seen
I
one.
mean,
couple
cemetery
parking
It's
lots.
not just been one complaint from her, it's been multiple complaints from her, I've been talked to, that was like the second or
Okay.
third time.
Well,
Some people just
An
like to
ordinance
complain.
prohibiting certain acts in the
True.
Rosedale City Park. Whereas certain acts within the park are considered inappropriate and are injurious to the public health and condition of the park, now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Trustees of the Town of Rosedale that the possession of consumption of alcoholic beverages within the Rosedale City Park are hereby prohibited. There, no motor vehicle shall be allowed within the Rosedale City Park unless approved by the town council or an agent. Fireworks are prohibited, loitering is prohibited, any and all tobacco products or the consumption thereof are prohibited. Penalty, any firm person, $25 per offense, no more than 50. It is hereby found and declared that there exists an emergency and urgent necessity for the immediate taking effect of this ordinance. The year 2000.
oh.
Signed by Mr. Mike Riddick.
Uh-huh.
Well, why didn't Mike Riddick tell us that?
And then here's a curfew for minors. Curfew is 11 p.m. through 5 a.m. Monday through Friday morning and midnight through 5 a.m. Saturday and Sunday.
Well, the thing is, we never really objected when they were over there late in the summer playing basketball, and
Well, and if
you
they're
don't
over there up
really
to no
get
good, and
all-
we drive by, the first thing they do is quit doing whatever they're doing and go
Yeah.
back to playing.
Right.
It's just like when people drive, first thing they do when they see a police car is slow down or stop or whatever they're doing wrong, they quit doing.
Well, when we go in there and talk to the little kids, this is what they say to us. We ask it, we tell them, don't get on here, blah, 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 and then they go, are you leaving? Are you coming back?
Yeah, as soon as you
Oh,
walk
you
away
never
and around the corner, and you're not in eyesight,
Yeah.
they're going to go back to doing what they're doing.
So, yeah. I mean, there's always going to be those ones, and I think some of that has calmed down some of the destructive part of it, but some of the bigger kids are still getting on there.
So then, can we go and look at working with Scott and your guys' office to make an ordinance and get it set in place for next month that park officially closes at dusk, no excuses, they're there, $25 fine like the other fines, not to exceed 50. I mean, I don't see why. If we have to be the bad guys because they're tearing up the park or, being annoying to neighbors, I mean, we have to.
Well, they have destroyed, it was a younger child supposedly has destroyed a lot
Well,
of
The thing is,
Maybe.
we've only
I
had
don't think little
one
kids destroying
person
that brand new
complain
thing.
about the park that lives around the park.
Yes, you have only had one person complain, that is all.
Right.
No one else has complained,
So
Okay.
not to me
I
at
feel like
least.
that's something we need to think about. That we need to either, just kind of patrol around there certain times of night and see if there's anybody there. I told this person to put a notice on our Facebook page that I would see it and I would check out to see what was going on. Either call you or that I would see it, no matter what time it was, I always have my phone next to me. And then we could check it out.
But
And
if
see
there's
what's
not an
going
ordinance
on.
in place,
How
we
late
have
do
no
you guys
action to
patrol
actually
of a night?
Okay, we
legally
could go
keep
there.
them out.
We
How
could-
late- how
It
late
depends on what
could
night
you-
we're out and who's out.
Yeah,
I mean,
Well, but
what's
not
going on. I mean,
if
Newman doesn't
if
usually
it's
come out till
not
8 or 9
before
o'clock.
midnight.
He'll stay out till
We don't have any.
Yeah, so,
usually 1 or something like
Say-
that. He
so
usually
if
comes
somebody
out
could
usually
wander
If
through there
it's-
like at midnight or
I
something
know,
or
but
other.
I
and
don't
see-
think we need
We're
to
out
own
when
this.
we're out. Yeah.
Why-
That's what I mean.
Why
Can you,
have a
you know,
curfew
zip out through there once in a while?
of 11,
We do,
but
I
then
mean-
you can't be at the park after dusk?
Well, that's the kids I seen in the park
I mean-
playing basketball at like 9 o'clock one night.
Yeah, that's,
And what's,
that happens all the time in the summer.
And the bad thing, the worst part about town ordinances is if you find somebody in violation of one, this is just like the dog statute. I don't ever write a ticket on a dog, on a town ordinance with a dog ticket. I write them on the state statute, because if I write them that $40 dog ticket and they don't pay it, what do we do?
Yeah.
If I write them on the town stat, or the state statute and they don't pay it, their driver's license gets suspended. There's more recourse, because when you write it on the state statute, it goes to the Park County courts. We write it on a town ordinance, then we have to contact Scott's office. Scott has to go to the courts and act as our prosecutor, and by then, we're spending way more money than the $25 or $50 fine. Not saying we shouldn't have ordinances, because if we do, we can go over there and tell them, get out of the park, you're breaking
Yeah.
the rules. But the fines are,
Yeah, what we want
I mean, if
is
somebody
just
keeps
a-
being that
a
way, yeah, we can
deterrent.
start writing them.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, and that's it's always my take on the town ordinances. I'd like to find some way to put a camera up, and I've got an idea, but it would probably cost us $300 or $400 to get the equipment. I know somebody that I might be able to let them talk them into letting us put some cameras on their property that would shoot right at the park.
Well, how much opioid money do we have? Just,
No, we've got money, but
that might just about take care of it. I mean, half of it. In case they're over there doing drugs. I'm sure that happens.
there was a couple names mentioned about tearing up the playground equipment, and I know one of the boys fairly well, and I went and talked to him and his mother, because I know and Natalie knows who I'm talking about, but I know his dad set his keister on fire if he was tearing stuff up. He said he'd went over there and seen the stuff was broken, but
I believe Mike
Yeah,
has found the culprit,
Mike and Cliff, I'm talking.
spoken with the culprit, maybe some tears,
well, good.
and then the culprit has promised to not do it again.
Okay.
And they even helped him with picking up limbs and stuff out
Yes.
at the park.
Yes.
So,
self-punishment.
that's what I like to see anyway. More community. But, I mean, we could talk about it some more in other ordinance, or else we can just,
Just kind of see how it goes for the other.
So, yeah.
I mean, the boys, the guys are gonna fix and
They're
He
gonna
got the
reattach
hardware.
the boards.
Yeah, he got some hardware today when he was
Yeah.
at Rolking. So.
refurbish the playground equipment, put a little,
I mean, you could probably
Better
make a
stuff.
post from the town hall on the ordinance that exists. I mean, it's old, but it's still valid.
Right.
Yeah, the curfew violations and whatnot. Because usually if we find kids out after midnight, 1 o'clock, and they're under
they're 13, 14 years old, we're usually calling parents.
Right.
Hey, do you know where your children are?
Yeah.
I know where they are. They're with me. Why are they not at home?
So, we'll talk about that some more. See how-
Otherwise, the park's just lovely.
Yes, well, good, good.
Okay. Fire department.
They had a total of 13 runs. They had 2 fire, 6 med, 1 smoke investigation, 1 traffic control, and 3 car accidents. And breakfast Sunday morning.
This coming one?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Sunday morning.
You all haven't had a good breakfast
I will be there.
since May.
$9, 10.
Still the same, $9.
What are the hours?
7 to 11. I'll be at
You
work.
always say you're gonna come, John, so.
No,
He's writing it down this time, though. Are you writing
I'm not
it?
going to say it. But
Yep, then maybe you'll make it happen. Anything else, Becky?
Anything else?
Anything else, Kevin?
Triple I went over well. It was a good deal.
Good.
Auction went over very well. We made it was a good day for the fire department.
Excellent.
Okay, cemetery, no burials or cremations.
So brave souls.
Police, we've got 6 warning, 2 tickets, and 2 arrests.
And properties. I know the depot property, which we talked about, is apparently probably gone on to the bank now, right?
They're in the foreclosure process. It's not a fast process. It takes some time, but,
And there is a big chunk of tree down now in that yard, so,
making it look even lovelier.
yeah. Any other complaints?
I don't know.
I know there's a few.
I did give out a complaint form yesterday. She has not turned it back in. It is a property that we just sent a letter to,
Which one?
Robertson's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just sent them last week I sent.
Yes,
I
last
gave you what,
week.
5 of them?
4 or 5 of them. Yeah, I mailed out for Kevin last week or the week before.
Okay.
The one on Woods Alley,
Mhm.
way down there on the end.
Mhm.
I talked to Brian yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Some title checks for him.
Mhm.
Him and his brother are trying to convince their dad to go to an assisted living facility.
Mhm.
Their plan for that house, if they can get their dad to do something, is to tear it down, along with the garage and everything else. Brian is in the process of getting ready to list for sale the 2 barns, or the one, I could call them barns, that's what they look like. The one's actually got an apartment in it. He's getting ready to list those and those 2 lots across the street from him.
There isn't any water service to those, so they're not livable.
Well, I don't know, I just know he said the building in the
Because we
back
don't
has
have
a,
water to them, or sewage, so.
the one in the back, he said's got a full apartment
Yeah, so I don't know on that.
upstairs, or whatever, I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
You talking
They-
about at the end of Woods Alley on the,
Williams,
and so at the very end?
By the lift station back there.
by the lift
Yeah.
station, those 2
Yeah.
buildings right there.
Because I actually looked at it here a year or 2 ago. There is an apartment and all that. And
Yeah.
They
The,
have a
they
bathroom.
want a lot of money. At
They
that time
did.
they did.
They did one a lot. Yeah.
the house just to the south, the yellow house where that old Ford car's sitting,
Mhm.
he's got a guy that's gonna buy that off of him. He knows a person that's gonna sell that. But like I said, those other 2, he's gonna list them, the 2 lots across the street that are empty that he had cleared a few years back. He's gonna be listing those for sale. Their plan is, the way he told me, is his wife inherited some land up around Turkey Run and they're gonna be moving. But they've gotta convince, him and his brother gotta convince their dad to do something.
Okay, good luck with that.
And then Mr. Larson showed up, which I was surprised, but he said he'd be here, so.
Okay, any other?
People need to mow.
Yeah,
I know everyone's sick of mowing, but people need to mow. Let me just say that. Because people watch this, so people need to mow.
And apparently, according to Facebook media, Rick Tryon sold his house. So we'll see how that goes.
does
Yeah.
anybody know who bought it?
No.
It's a mystery. Okay. Well, they'll be needing to mow the grass here soon.
Well, I figured I'd give it a. What's it normally take to do a transfer, Natalie? A couple weeks?
I mean,
2 feet
if
more.
it was free and clear, he could have transferred it like courthouse office to office. I mean, unless somebody wanted to do a title check and whatnot, then that would take him a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't imagine he's probably for $5,000. They're not going to do a whole lot of paperwork. They're
Well,
just
I wouldn't think so, but I do believe that was still in Marlene and Ed's name.
Yes,
So
it
there
is.
would definitely
Right.
need to be some power
It
of
was.
attorney and some things like that that needed to be. Power of attorney ends in death, so I don't know exactly.
'Cause that was
what they
one I
needed
sent a
on
letter
that,
to.
So
or had you send the letter like the day after, 2 days after you mailed those, he put it up on Facebook.
right, yeah. So
Well, one end of town still looks bad coming in town. The other end looks a little better, but it's still got 5 or 6 cars sitting around on it
So, which one?
as you come in from the south end.
Well, on the right.
Yeah.
We sent them another letter, but
Yeah.
the fellow that was living there, he's the one that just passed away. It's actually his sister that owns the house, so she got the letter.
yeah, it's her house.
Okay, would you like to do your report now, Miss Natalie?
Did you guys ever find that brown dog that was running around?
A big one.
He had one corralled one day, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but the next day there was a huge one. He kind of caught me off guard a couple times.
Oh.
But he was friendly as could be, but he was a big
Kind
one.
of tan.
It's got a collar on it. It's got a pink square on it.
I
That's the
know-
one that I caught.
I was at work one afternoon. I heard him dispatch one of the deputies down here, and he came down here and looked around. He never found it.
No, there was one that was collarless. I mean, this thing was.
That's the big dog, the big brown
He
dog.
was a big one.
Oh, this one.
He
This one was
part
like that
mastiff.
big. Probably.
No, that one.
It-
I actually. I think somebody came and picked him up, didn't they? That's the one that I had. That.
One of them came up. I was sitting on the far end of my porch. One of them came up on my
Yeah.
porch and barking at me, and I go, "Who do you think you are?" And it was right about time for school to be out, so I went in and called school. So they
That might have been the afternoon I heard somebody get
watched.
dispatched
No,
down
that
here.
was
Yeah.
That was
the
after
neighbor
that.
said somebody came by and picked that
think-
one up. And
You ever have a dog charging you, pop an umbrella. They'll stop them dead in their tracks.
You gotta have an umbrella with them.
You gotta have an umbrella with you, yes.
well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Geez, I didn't have an umbrella on my. Well, I did have one on my porch, but it was on the other end. But then it's been in my yard a couple of other times. But I knew a deputy had come down
DJ,
and was
anything else?
I think
driving
it was
around.
Gilbert. I think he was working that
Sign
day.
Signature.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it belongs. But
I had two neighbors that were feeding it, and they were the ones that told me that they came and got picked up and took away.
the day that it came up on my porch, your son chased it off.
Okay, he did tell me that there was. I think that was a different one. Because my boy said he was gonna whoop on that one.
There you go.
What's that?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty sad. I think people are dumping a lot of their dogs.
Yeah, that one dog was eating the trash out of the trash earlier today down by my house. That big dog.
That house down by you, across from you. If you see anybody over there, let me know.
I think during COVID, everybody got a puppy. And now they
Yeah,
have a dog.
I did not get a puppy.
nor did I.
Nor did I.
And now
I certainly didn't.
They're home all day by themselves. and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got rough with a lot of us.
I was gonna say, I had other
Some of
things
us
on
had
my
pretty bad.
mind.
You had a little rough with both sides.
All the
The
stray
clerk
cats.
treasurer has no report at this time.
Oh,
Okay, I've talked enough.
all right. Any more public comments or public left?
Right.
You, Mr. Bonomo, do you have
Oh.
anything to say?
No, nothing.
Okay. So,
Make a motion to pay the bill.
make a motion to pay the bills.
Aye. Or,
Cody,
I'll second it.
Okay.
take your vote.
Aye.
Who's the
Aye.
kid then?
aye.
Yeah.
Just
All
would
in
not look
favor?
good if we didn't
Aye.
pay our bills.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we sign this?
Meeting's over.
No,